Greetings, watchers of the PG verse. For today's video, I decided I would give you a review and my thoughts of Percy Jackson episode 5, A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers. So, I have got to admit it, I absolutely loved the wrestler Edge. Unfortunately, I forgot what his real name is. As Ares, he was great. He pulled off exactly how violent Ares is, how much he loves to cause fights, but also how easily he switches from charming to threatening. I also liked how in this take of the chapter, instead of Ares threatening a waiter to buy the food, he just buys it with normal money and doesn't just start a fight for no reason, because unlike in the Percy Jackson books, in the original myths, or the versions of the myths that I have read, because there are multiple versions, Ares doesn't generally attack people without provocation. Unless it's during a wartime, then he will go all in. He'll be fighting and killing people all over. But he generally doesn't go out of his way to mess with people's lives. As far as from all the myths I've read, he hasn't abducted anyone he found attractive. He never shapeshifted into someone they loved or an animal, which his dad did both. He didn't curse anyone just because he woke up on the wrong side of the bed and was like, "Oh, I'm very mad. That city will lose whatever conflict they have next, because I'm angry today, and I have no control of my emotions whatsoever." So I really liked it. Also, how he said it was a halfway decent diner. I'm also kind of wondering how often he goes to that diner and how many other diners he's been to in his life. Considering he's a few millennia old, he's probably gone to quite a few diners, pubs, bars, really any restaurant we can think of. But considering he says it's halfway decent, I'm imagining that the food is pretty damn... For my Percy Jackson fans, I hope you like that joke. Good food. But also, I did like how, even though they didn't say there was an aura of anger, Percy and Myth and Grover did act like it. Something else I thought was cool was, pardon me, how the first time Annabeth insulted Ares, he was like, "Good one, cousin." But the second time, he was just over it and was like, and his body switched from, "You got spunk," to, "Remember, child, I am still a god who you have to be careful of, so I don't murder you." And then it just goes back to being a grumpy guy. But also, when he sends them on the quest, he decides to take Grover as a hostage, which I gotta say is pretty standard tactics. And it's nice seeing Ares use tactics and not just be like, "I'm gonna kill you because I'm angry and I like to cause destruction." But also, something that still puzzles me, when they went to grab Ares' shield, is that they automatically assume when they see the chair, well, Percy does, that they have to sit in the chair to get the shield. But, Percy, Yes. The chair will capture you, but have you not? But why did neither you nor Annabeth just bother to decide to, hop onto the side of the chair, stand on it, and try to pry the shield out of the statue's hands? Like, come on, man. At least give it a try. Or, explain why they didn't bother doing it. Personally, I'm thinking it's because they're still 12 and 13, so they're still not really thinking that clearly. Also, they had a pretty wacky days, and they're probably pretty exhausted, so maybe that's why. But yeah, they really should have tried to just, cut the statue's arms off and then grab the shield before, and then with Percy's allowing himself to be captured in the chair. However, I really did like how they're showing Percy and Annabeth actually being trusting and more caring for each other. It's just makes me so happy. Because yes, Percy finally has actual friends that won't betray him like the lightning thief does. Yes! But also, I did like how Annabeth said, yes, our family has stabbed each other in the back, betrayed each other, cursed each other for all across time and history. But Percy is different. He has helped me learn that we can be better. And Hephaestus, you don't have to be like my mother, like Zeus, like Ares. You can be better. And first it looks like Hephaestus was gonna curse her or just ignore her entirely because, she's a demigod. I'm a god. I don't feel like being told what to do. But instead he's like, and I saw that change in him when he decided, you know what? Annabeth's right. I don't have to be like the rest of our family. And you know what? Some of us don't want to be like that. Which I thought was great because both in the myths and in the Percy Jackson books, Hephaestus is pretty antisocial. He honestly would prefer to just never interact with anyone and just work in his workshop. But I like this change because he's actually willing to be like, you know what? I don't want to be this kind of person anymore. Well, here we go. And then he freed Percy. And then he said, Annabeth, this was out of character for your mother. I will put in a good word for her. Although, and as good as it is, I'm still thinking, because of how arrogant Athena is, she's gonna be like, I don't wait a second, what do you mean out of line? My daughter disrespected me, for that she had to be punished. Also, I have tons of kids. Then hopefully Hephaestus has reaction like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear how arrogant and just evil you are currently acting? You were slightly disrespected, and you decide to let Echidna and one of her kids, the Chimera, go to murder your daughter. And Percy Jackson and Grover Underwood just because of a slight insult. Sister, you're the goddess of wisdom. Why aren't you using your wisdom? Why are you letting it being blinded by your arrogance and ego? Annabeth's right. There is a better way. And I'm glad your daughter and her friend are helping me with that way. For a goddess of wisdom and strategy, it's sad to so rarely see that. And then he leaves. And then then it cuts back to them grabbing the shield, bringing it back to Ares, and the Ares being like, okay, here's a bag, which, as we all know, isn't just a bag. But I won't spoil what it is for people who are watching my videos that haven't read the books or haven't in a very, very long time. And then I gotta say, I did like how before Ares closed the door, he just had that evil smirk on his face, like. And then the door closed. What I'm really hoping is that they see the lion that was given the turnips and the zebra that was given the I think it was chicken or maybe like raw beef, and they were starving because, well, as we all know, neither lions nor zebras can eat either their food. So hopefully they'll switch it. But also, I really want to see one of the interactions where, I forgot which part of the Lion Thief it was, but when, okay, so this is also a spoiler alert, just so you know. So you know the mysterious voice talking to Percy? That is his grandfather, Kronos. So yeah, that's the spoiler. So I hope they have at least one scene in today's episode, which happens on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Whatever time zone PT is, which I'm not really sure. But yeah, so I hope they have a scene where Percy sees Luke talking to old grandpapa child consumer. So he can be like, wait, why is Luke talking to this obviously evil voice? That's suspicious. And then just have Cronus be like, hello, hero Percy. And then Percy like, oops. Hey. How you doing, Cronus? Then goes back to Cronus' voice. Such a brave hero. How many other secrets will you discover? Percy, well, I'm not actually sure what these dreams are even supposed to be telling me, but I'm just gonna wake myself up. Kronos. Oh, you want to wake up? Well. Have fun at Hotel California, Perseus. Then Percy wakes up and is like, whoa. Okay, so that evil voice was chatting to me, but also first was chatting to Luke. Are they working together? Yeah, probably. Oh, but yeah, so, Episode 5 and Episode 4 have been my favorite episodes of the entire show. And I am so excited for Episode 6. tonight. It's gonna be so fun. Well, watchers of the PG verse and people who just found this video and thought, and it's Percy Jackson man, is like, ooh, a video about Percy Jackson. I'm gonna watch this. Please, I'm begging you, leave a nice comment, because it's just nice to read compliments about my videos because of the hard work I put in them. I already said comment, and subscribe for the review of tonight's episode, which will either be made tonight or tomorrow. Well, remember, all my watchers, you must go west and face the god who has turned.